was influenced like for a long time by like, I guess, a period of a few years in my life when I was just like going to gigs and like just having a really fun time for a while. And so I've got all these photographs and all these like gig tickets and stuff that I was really obsessed with when I was in first year, and then that led on to kind of being obsessed with like what makes our personalities and gives us knowledge and stuff. And then I kind of came to the conclusion that our experiences are what fuel our knowledge and fuel our personalities. A lot of these nights I don't remember, or they're just a blur, and then so I was like, well, do I not have a personality anymore? What is this? I don't know what this is. So anyway, I started taking shapes and colours from these photographs, things that were important, like our hair colour, our clothes, and punk aesthetic, and collage and all these colours and shapes together, like wanting to represent a culture that I associate myself with and not wanting to do it in a figurative or narrative way. So that's why I work in such an abstract way. The materials as well, I think, completely relate to my thoughts behind the work as well. They sort of hold this like DIY punk aesthetic as well, sort of like using what you've got to get what you need sort of thing, using what you can find. The materials like dominate what the work's going to be quite a lot as well. Mainly I use the same materials like cardboard and paper and billboards and fly posters. I'm really obsessed with like walls covered in posters. I think that was like the backdrop to most of my like teenage years, so that's really what's like fueled this work from the very get-go. Yeah, the materials, I always try and just find them, like working bars and stuff I always have like throughout my art school career and throughout the residency. So I get a lot of beer boxes, take billboards off of billboards, ones that have just starting to fall down anyway. So I spent a lot of time like in a jumpsuit and a high-vis vest at like 5 in the morning, like pulling down a billboard, and they're sort of seasonal. So I kind of had to find new ways of working, so I started using cardboard. So what I do is spend weeks and months ripping cardboard boxes and posters and stuff just into strips and strips, and then I'll find wooden pallets and I'll just gather all my materials and bring them into the studio and sort of like hook the pallets onto the wall. They're always like the framework, the base, and then I'll just start smashing paper onto the frame basically and layering up, and then sort of layering up the strips of cardboard with a glue gun, hours with this glue gun as well. I counted up all the glue sticks I used for the last show, Walking Towards the Mountain, and it was something like 5,000 and 5,200 or something individually like squeezed glue sticks. I quite like the scale of the materials as well, because it makes, I don't know, quite like the idea of like how sort of hard and how long it was to like make it. The paint found as well, I get quite a lot of paint from Skips. I know a painter decorator who picks me up, and but I make a lot of my paint as well, which involves like cooking on my little camping stove, which I'll add emulsion into this flour base that I make paint from. It was quite good because the materials that I use always sort of like allow me and force me in the same equal measure to make really fast decisions that I can't really think about stuff for too long because I'll get bogged down. I just need to use what I've got to get where I need, sort of thing. So the paint's always, like especially with the last body of work for Walking Towards the Mountain, that was really limited colour palette because it was just all this fine stuff that I just wanted to use that and sort of respond to that. I'm not planning the painting at all, I'll just respond to what's going on in the painting, and I sort of didn't really think that was okay until sort of like the last like year and a half or something, like working this way. I didn't really know that it was okay just to respond to colour and respond to shape. So working in such an abstract way anyway, the whole sort of concept to me has become completely unimportant now. It's just about responding to what's there, and I want to give them a little hint. Usually my titles are quite sort of like little parts of stories or something, so it'll give them a little hint, give them something to think about, but never like obvious or figurative or narrative. Well, first of all, I was so happy to get the graduate and residence spot for the painting department. The thing that I was looking forward to most, I think, was knowing that I'd have the whole painting department to myself in the summer, and I thought I'm going to go wild and make massive big things, and I kind of struggled a wee bit with that. It was really weird in the art school when no one's there and you're just kind of walking about in your socks like, where's everyone? I quite like having people around to a certain extent until there's a deadline and you need to shut yourself off. Yeah, so I started making things. I just started making just rubbish, but that was fine because you need to do that. And I did start to make really tiny things, and I thought I'm gonna make hundreds of these and it's gonna be great, but I just couldn't get them to move anywhere, so I abandoned ship with them. And I'm kind of like a glutton for punishment in the way that I like to make big things in small spaces, so it wasn't until I moved down to my actual studio that was going to be my studio for the most part of the residency, that I started to make the really larger scale work. So all the work for my graduate residence show, Walking Towards the Mountain, was pretty large, but I was really trying to develop on from my work, especially from the degree show, which was obviously my last show at Grace. So I wanted to take the sculptural aspect of it further and just bring them out of the wall a lot more, and sort of really play on that illusionary aspect of them, and this sort of how is that on the wall kind of reaction that I get. So I made pieces that are in the corner. I had all ideas of making ones that spilled onto the floor and stuff, but there's just only so much you can do. The residency it's not just a studio that they provide so many opportunities for you to get involved. So at one point I was lecturing for the short courses, doing intermediate and advanced painting, which was great for me because it sort of let me touch on things that I hadn't thought about in ages, like life drawing, and just sort of got the cogs turning again with old practices that I hadn't worked on in ages, so that was good. But that led on to as well getting to work with the other graduates from CAP, and we got to do a show called Fancy, which just finished. With this deadline, was forced to finish these sort of small paintings that I'd made, which was very nerve-wracking to show something that it's so out of my comfort zone. It's so silly, to be scared to show little paintings, but I just was going to the gallery with these paintings in a plastic bag, and I was just where's the van? What's going on? Where's all my 5 people to help me lift the painting? But it was great, and the response from the show was really, really good. And just to have, we've all got our different circles and stuff. We're all at art school at the same time, but didn't know each other, sort of thing. So it's been really nice to get to know them, and just everybody from Grace is just always the best. And it's just, it was really a really good opportunity, and it's led on to me being able to discuss things with galleries in London and just get to network with people that I wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to do so. And having one of my pieces in the collections as well for RG is such a compliment, and it's really cool. We still got our appetite, we still got our appetite, we still got our appetite, we still got our appetite. Show us your teeth and show us your tits and show us the scars from the shit that you did. And we swell up like dicks on the height of the night. It makes bad, I'm sick, but to me, it's alright.